Wonderful evening to you. Thanks for joining us again today, Saturday the 5th of June 2021. You're listening to Obinwannem News Analysis Hour. My name remains Nwakama Onyinyechi, and hope your weekend has been splendid. We start with the first headline for this evening. Like Twitter, Facebook deletes Nigerian's president's content for violating its policy. Like Twitter, Facebook deletes Nigerian's president's content for violating its policy. Following Twitter's actions on Nigerian's President Buharis inciting comments, Facebook also in related terms censored Buhari's statements for using provocative remarks to address its citizens. Facebook said comments also violate its community standards. Facebook removed the post from its platform. Its platform states that they removed the post from President Buhari's Facebook page in line with its global policies for violating their community standards against inciting violence. We'll recall that Twitter also deleted Buhari tweets where he issued a threat to deal with misbehaving elements in the language they understand while making reference to Nigerian civil war. This development led the Nigerian government to suspend Twitter operations in Nigeria on Friday. It is, however, unclear if similar ban would be applicable to Facebook as it did to Twitter on Friday for deleting the inciting remarks. We go to the second headline for the evening. Catholic Church bans Father Mbaka over political involvement. Catholic Church bans Father Mbaka over political involvement. In a bid to protect the image of the church from political controversies, the Catholic Diocese of Enugu has banned Reverend Father Mbaka, the spiritual director of Adoration Ministries, Enugu, Nigeria, Amen, for partisan statements on politics. The Catholic Church also resolved that Mbaka would no longer solely oversee the activities of the ministry as its spiritual director. This was made public following Mbaka's resumption to church activities after 1 month. He was set to proceed on private prayer retreats. In a letter signed by the Catholic Bishop of Enugu, Callistus Onaga, to Reverend Father Mbaka, he was instructed that the adoration ministry has now been converted to chaplaincy. This will bring it under the control of Enugu Diocese, giving the bishop power to anoint a chaplain to oversee its operations. The bishop said that Reverend Father Mbaka should not participate in politics, either by way of active engagement or by prophetic naming of candidates for position of power. The bishop further noted that he could appoint any ministerial officer to assist the chaplains in overseeing the pastoral activities of the ministry. To the third headline for the evening, Nigeria Bar Association to use federal government over Twitter ban. I take that again. Nigeria Bar Association to sue federal government over Twitter ban. The NBA has berated the federal government for banning Twitter operations in Nigeria, while threatening to challenge the government in the court of law failure to reverse the ban. This was conveyed in a statement by the president of NBA, Olumide Akpata, shortly after the announcement was made by the Minister of Information on Friday. Declaring Twitter ban in Nigeria violates the rights of Nigerians to freely express themselves and vow to sue the decision in court if the suspension would not be revoked. The federal government also directed the Nigerian Communications Commission to immediately commence the process of licensing all OTT and social media operations in Nigeria. The NBA, through its president, stressed that operating a constitutional democracy, the consequence is that everything must be done according to law and government must be conducted within the framework of recognized rules and principles which restrict discretionary power. The next headline, Uzodinma sacks all special advisors to Imo State government. Uzodinma sacks all special advisors to Imo State government. Barely 3 weeks, Imo Governor Hope Uzodinma relieved the appointment of 20 commissioners. The governor, in a new development, has reportedly sacked all special advisors, senior assistants, and special assistants from his cabinet. This was announced at the government house in Owerri, the state capital, by the Commissioner of Information, Declan Emelomba, on Friday. This was as the outcome of a recommendation by a commissioner earlier set up by the governor to carry out a performance appraisal of the duties of all special advisors, senior assistants, and special assistants. Declan said the report also recommended the need to rejig the appointment for optimal service. We'll recall that prior to this recent development, the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, had sacked 20 commissioners earlier from his cabinet, retaining only 8 in the month of May. Governor Hope Uzodinma accused the opposition and aggrieved members of All Progressive Congress, APC, for fueling the rising levels of insecurity in the southeast states. He, however, assured his commitment to provide solutions to the state's security challenges when he inaugurated Security Council at the grassroots level. The last headline for the evening, Northern Group stages protest in Abuja, demands referendum. Northern Group stages protest in Abuja, demands referendum. A group of women under the aegis of the Amalgamation of Northern Women Associations on Saturday held protests in Abuja, demanding a referendum for all Igbo agitators, either to choose a united Nigeria or Biafra. According to the coordinator of the group, Hadiza Adamu, Nigerian history has shown that women carry the heavy burden of war and acts of insurrection and terrorism. The aftermath of war and sufferings left lifetime scars in their hearts and borders. For this reason, they are saying no to war and no to insurrection. The group further requested the Nigerian government to slate a plebiscite for the citizens to decide their fate. In their opinion, they said, people should be allowed to choose to live in peace in Nigeria or live without resorting to a second civil war. They reiterated that the Igbo nation has turned the entire southeast to almost a war zone. People are not safe anymore. Infrastructures not safe. Symbol of democracy being destroyed on daily basis. As we see, these women are no longer comfortable with these security challenges, and no one is actually. A lasting solution is all that is needed for peace to reign again. And we'll wrap it up here. Thanks so much for listening to us. This news came to you by Obinwannem news reporter Ijoma Njoku. I am Nwakama Unyechi. Have a lovely weekend.